What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As always, I'm your co-host Donovan Quick. Before we get started today, I do want to just say, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below your thoughts on what I'm saying and on the game. Alright, so we're going to be going over pretty much what happened in the game yesterday between the Texans and the Dolphins. First things first, injuries. So we did see Robert Jones go down with an injury. We know it's a lower leg injury. We're going to be getting more information on that. We probably tomorrow during a press conference. The Dolphins themselves are getting more information today after an MRI. Same thing with Devon Achane. He has a shoulder injury, possibly from being absolutely power bombed, which since Quan Alexander was fined $47,000 for a regular tackle, I'm pretty sure that guy will be fined significantly for power bombing him. And guys, don't be worried about, okay, he's going to be a little back in the NFL. He's going to get, injured all the time. That's not necessarily true. It's not every single day that you just get picked up and power bombed on your shoulder after a 20-yard run. Let's remember the 20-yard run itself. There's a reason that he was drafted in the third round. And then last injury, Teron Armstead. We know he had a boot on during the game, but the Dolphins are feeling optimistic about him being ready for week 1. We know he was still trying to work himself back into game strength and game speed, but that's when the injury occurred. So we'll see what happens going forward. We'll keep you guys updated on that. As for the actual game, so first play of the game, Tua throws a pick, almost a pick six, but he does make the can I say tackle? He made the tackle. He pretty much, I did like what he did. So he was being blocked by the defender, and then he pretty much just did like a spin move and dove in front of the guy trying to return the pick, and that's how he got tackled. So not necessarily a fan of Tua just throwing himself out there, but especially for preseason. For regular season, I would like this play, but it is what it is. He's a competitor. He's going out there. He's going to show the guys, hey, I'm not scared, and you shouldn't be either. So I like that. And then he came back strong the next series out, and of course they did have that little blunder with him trying to hand the ball off to Mostert, but other than that, they didn't really show too much of the offense. It was just basic, get open and I got you kind of thing. And on a key third down, Tyreek Hill absolutely had his man in a blender and got open for a short third down that he ended up turning into like an additional 10 yards after the catch. Now we know that last year we thought that the offense was going to be heavy on this, and they showed that pretty much in preseason, besides a couple deep bombs to Tyreek. And then during the year we rarely threw this kind of stuff, and we threw a lot of over the middle, 15 yards down the field type of stuff, and we rarely threw it underneath 10 yards. So I would really like for us to see, what direction we really go into, because I would like a nice mixture of that. But Tua did look pretty sharp on the second series, and then of course he was taken out after that for Skylar Thompson. I do want to say though, in that first series, he found Durham Smythe a couple of times, and Smythe, we know he's been a pass blocking or just a blocking tight end since he's been in the league. And for him to kind of, be in that true tight end role now, because Gesicki last year, he's our number 1 tight end, right? And he can't block. And it's rare that you really have a tight end that can't block. Like Elijah Higgins, a wide receiver out of college, can block better than he could in his entire NFL career. But Gesicki, he was able to take that kind of true tight end role now that Gesicki's not here, and be like, okay, I'm going to throw a little chip block and then run and set myself in the middle of the field underneath the linebacker, catch this pass, go down, get a first down. And I was really happy to see that, and I hope we can incorporate that more, because we know last week the tight ends were just abysmal. Like Elijah Higgins showed up a little bit in the fourth quarter, but that was pretty much it. Like no one else really showed anything. Julian Hill blocking, yeah, but pass catching wasn't there. Sauber, I have no idea what he's even doing. Tyler Croft, haven't seen much from him either. So to see, Durham Smythe give us some kind of hope for a pass catching tight end, just a reliable one that, throw it to me in between and I'll make sure that I secure this and go down. Now we've seen him do it throughout his career a little bit, but we've seen him do it a little bit. I want to see him do it a lot of it. Third wide receiver. So we saw almost all our receivers in this game besides Waddle and Braylon Sanders. I do find it curious that the Dolphins haven't released Braylon Sanders with an injury settlement. So keep an eye on that. Maybe they just want to give time to come back and, show that he can make the team. Who knows? But third wide receiver, let me not get off track. Coming into this game, I said it was Eric Ezukama. Jacob said it was Robbie Anderson. And I neglected to see how well Braxton Berrios really impacted this team. Like, just as like a returner, sure. Like that, great returner, one of the best in the league. Not as good as Jakeem Grant, but still one of the best in the league. But his ability as a slot receiver just to get open underneath and be in that Wes Welker type of role is really useful. And like he got open a ton throughout the game and just showed us over and over and over again. He did leave last week's game early, so we didn't really get to see too much. So that we didn't, coming out of last week, going into last week, we had differences of opinion on who's wide receiver 3, but neither of us had Braxton Berrios. I think after this game, I have Braxton Berrios as number 3, Eric Ezukama as number 4, and Robbie kind of like with his no hands, like the man just cannot catch a pass unless it's over his shoulder. It was just weird. And I have to drop him down to like 5 or 6. Like he's on the bubble now for me. I'm not sure about Jacob, but yeah, he's on the bubble now for me. Running game. So Jacob and I had concerns about the running game throughout, off-season, training camp, and like, yeah, we averaged this amount last year, but would that average hold up if we went and actually ran the ball significantly? Now, a couple of you guys said, like, hey, the more that we run the ball, then they're not going to defend the pass as much. And then it opens up the pass game, and then the pass game opens up the run game again, and so on and so forth. So that would be nice, and I hope that happens. But I was concerned about running up the middle. But I have a hot take. It doesn't matter if we can run up the middle or not, because no one's beating us to the edges. There is not a team in the league that has the speed at linebacker or defensive end to just block on the outsides or to get us on the outsides. There's no one. We've gotten to the edge every single preseason game so far. And every single Dolphins practice, even against our own guys, any run that was to the outside was getting at least 4 yards. No one's turning that corner quicker than us. I mean, if you even just go down the list, if you don't count Jeff Wilson, Raheem Mostert runs like a sub or a low 4.4. Devon A-Chain, blazing speed. I'm not sure about his number. I think it's like a 4.4 or something like that, or a 4.3. Tyreek on an end around, Eric Ezukama on an end around, Jalen Waddle on an end around. Like, insane speed. We saw Savon Ahmed taking an outside run for 67 yards yesterday. Like, we have the speed throughout this team that we don't necessarily need to run up the middle. And look, if they want to, put pressure on the edges at that point and make sure that we can't beat them to the outside, then they'll beat them in the middle. It's that simple. You guys were telling me about, hey, if they want to, stop us in the run, they can, but they don't know that we're running it. And so, same situation. We will beat them up the middle if they try to go to overload the outsides. But even then, I'm not sure if they can stop us to the outside. It just doesn't matter. We have the speed. Defense also stepped up incredibly great. We allowed 186 yards. Like 50 of that was on the last drive when they made a fourth down that no one thought they were even going to go for. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have gone for it. It's preseason. Why not? You have nothing to lose. But no one thought that they were going to go for it at first, and they did. And that's how they got it. And then they marched another like 40 additional yards. But regardless of that, we had more rushing yards in the game than they had total yards in the game. It was a defensive dominant game, holding them to only 3 points, and that was with their starters. Turnover on downs after they intercepted Tua, and then they came back and kicked a field goal after we scored a touchdown. So, it was a pretty good defensive game. Xavier Howard played the entire first quarter, a little bit into the second. Igbo looked good. Eli Apple looked good. Cam Smith did not play. Linebackers, David Long, bro, I am ecstatic to have him on this team. When we first signed him, I was like, okay, so he has some soft tissue concerns. He had a hammy that he was dealing with most of last year on the Titans, but other than that, like, he was just a dominant force for the Titans, and we saw that again today in the pass game, in the run game. There was one run that he just absolutely blew up Singletary in the backfield that just, I was like, damn. And that was just incredible. Mitchell Agood, or Agude, like, he showed up and showed out. Channing Tindall showed up and showed out. The linebackers, all in all, I honestly think that we end up keeping a lot of middle linebackers. I really do. I think Garrett Nelson may lose his spot on the team just because we're going to keep Aubrey Miller. We're going to keep Mitchell Agood. We're going to, Channing Tindall, David Long, Jerome Baker. Like, all these guys are making the team. And I think we may lose some roster spots on other parts of the team to have that deep linebacker core. And none of these guys are afraid to play special teams. So if you're not afraid to play special teams, you're a good tackler, you have good speed. It's a great situation to be in. Having too many young guys that are good, that have the potential to make your team, I really like that. Now, a lot of people are saying that Mitchell Agood, Aubrey Miller, like, those are bubble guys to make the roster or to go on our practice squad. I have them leaning more towards roster than practice squad. They just have been that good. Corners, safeties, they were played good. I mean, it was hard to tell, like, who did not play good. Like, everywhere on the field, Brandon Peely made a lot of plays. The announcers talked about him throughout the game. Like, he dealt with a small neck injury on like Thursday. I was surprised he even played today, let alone played as well as he did and as much as he did. So he's almost a lock for me for the roster. I think we're going to roll with 4 DTs, Christian Wilkins, Zach Sealer, Raekwon Davis, and Brandon Peely. You guys know that we always seem to find like 1 or 2 good undrafted free agents that we love to bring in. Last year, Kader Kohu, a couple years before that, Nick Needham, and this year, I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be Brandon Peely is that dude. All in all, just an absolute dominance, offense, defense. Even if you want to look, it was weird to me, Skylar Thompson playing pretty much the entire game. They did take him out for a couple of plays because it looked like they were evaluating him for a concussion. They didn't exactly say what the injury they were evaluating him for was, but the officials walked him off the field, so they must have gotten a call from upstairs that, his head bounced off the turf, just get a, concussion test. So he came in just absolute dominance. It really was. He looked a lot more comfortable going into, in this game compared to last game. Now, last game he was playing with fourth stringers. This game he was playing with second, third. So it was a lot better to watch. Mike White not playing, besides, when Skylar was out for a couple of plays, was really curious to me. And I think it was... I wouldn't read too much into it just yet. Maybe he's dealing with a small injury it's so minor that they really just don't want to, put a quarterback out there for that. But we know Mike White. We know what he is. You know that what you're going to get from him is you're going to get a spectacular throw and then an absolute dumbass throw. So, yeah, it's I wouldn't read too much into it. I still think that there's a good competition going on between Skylar and Mike White. I don't think Mike White has secured anything at QB2 just yet. I think that's going to really come down to the last preseason game. I do anticipate Tua playing a little bit more than he did in the third preseason game, but that's a conversation for next time. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below and everything. Just let me know. Deuces.